Hi, my name's Colin Sanchez. I'm an inspiring filmmaker and actor, and what you've just watched was the trailer to my very first short film, Terminator Kid Extinction. From a young age, I fell in love with the art of filmmaking, forcing my family and friends to participate in any of the ideas I wanted to bring to the screen. I'd involve myself with the arts as well, whether that be writing stories, acting, or drawing comic books. I was always doing something creative. Eventually, these interests allowed opportunities for me to be able to star in music videos, commercials, and short films. However, as a child actor, you realize quickly that almost every audition takes place in LA, which is an hour away from where I live, and the fact that my parents both had full-time jobs, they were not able to take on a weekly basis. So I had to take a step away from acting. I was pretty bummed since my love for the craft was still there, yet I just couldn't participate in such a great level. Watching the director, cameraman, and crew, I just was so interested and I knew I wanted to learn more, so I did have to take a step away. Years would go by. I moved around a couple schools and lost a good amount of my confidence, but then in my sophomore year of high school, I thought to myself, why don't I start creating the same way I did when I was younger? However, I knew going forward I'd like to try something new, so after a long time working for my grandparents, I put some money aside and I was able to purchase my first camera, which I'm using right now, the Panasonic Lumix G7. I picked up the camera for about $600 and it might be the best purchase I've made in my entire life. With the camera, I was able to become the school's videographer, shooting hype videos for our school sport teams, getting me comfortable with both my camera and the editing software I was going to use. Again, up until this point, I only was using iMovie, but thanks to my school's media class, I was able to get Premiere Pro for free funded throughout my school. Anyways, I continued to do these videos for about 2 years, getting comfortable as a videographer and making a couple bucks off it as well. But coincidentally, I was still teaching myself every aspect I could about filmmaking, and I finally became comfortable enough to make my first short film, Searching. It's on my channel right now. The link will be in the description, but watch it after this video. I worked really hard on it. Alright, now that you know a bit about me, it's time for me to come to the matter of this channel and what I intend to do with it. Yep, that's a bug. Sorry. In short, I have 3 goals I have set for this channel. 1. Vlogging my filmmaking progress, such as breaking down how I shot and wrote certain scenes, or just making daily vlogs to practice more of a cinematic editing going forward. 2nd, commentary content. Not only do I love making movies, but I also love watching them and I have a lot to say about them. And lastly, the 3rd reason and the main reason for this channel is to make movies. So I can't wait to use this channel as an outlet for my work. Now that we're past that, it's time for the fun part. I've been using the same gear for about 4 years now, and with a part-time job and a very supportive family, I decided to purchase a few things. Oh. Anyways, now before purchasing this gear, I had 3 necessities I had to put into consideration: software, comfort, and quality. Up first, I have the LG Ultra Gear monitor. For the entirety of my film career so far, I've been editing on the 13-inch 2020 MacBook Pro. And one of the main issues I had with the MacBook was the display size. With such a small screen, editing became a pain in the ass. So I knew going forward, I definitely wanted to make that upgrade so I wouldn't have to strain my eyes so much, especially like 5 in the morning when I'm actually finishing a project. So adding a 27-inch monitor was just what I needed, and my friend was selling one for half price anyway, so it was a perfect fit. Second, we have the new MacBook. Okay, that's upside down. Second, we have a new 2023 14-inch MacBook Pro. Now, don't get me wrong, there wasn't anything terribly wrong with this MacBook. However, there was a lot of minor issues I just knew I didn't want to have to deal with going forward in my career. One of my main issues I had with this MacBook Pro is right here. They only give you 2 USB-C lightning ports, and as someone who's consistently uploading footage to edit, I spent way too much money on these things, and I have, I think, 4 of them now. Why do I have so many? Maybe because I keep losing them, but that's also my fault. So seeing that 2 months after purchasing this MacBook, the new one came back with all the ports I would need, I just knew eventually I was going to have to purchase this one. I could have gone for the 16-inch, but I'm on the move a lot and I like to show my stuff off on the go, so I wanted something a little more comfortable to carry around. I felt a 16 might be too big, especially since now I have the monitor at home, so it's not really a big deal. Another problem with this MacBook is it only had 256 gigabytes of storage, and when it came to editing my latest short film, I had to go and buy an external storage because it just did not fit everything I needed. I was also using this MacBook for school use, so getting the new MacBook, which completely doubled the storage to 512 gigabytes, was definitely what I needed. I could have gone higher in storage with the new MacBook, but I chose to stay around the 500 because I already have a couple external outputs and it wasn't really that big of a deal. And lastly, since I kept this one in almost perfect condition, I just hit my chin. Since I was able to keep it in almost perfect condition, I decided to hand it down to my sister, and she can use it for her own school use. It's now out of my hands. And third, I have the Newfie Halo 75 keyboard. Alright, how are we gonna... Being an independent filmmaker means you type a lot. From writing screenplays to editing my videos, I found that getting a comfortable keyboard would be a necessity. I was always interested in getting a mechanical keyboard, but upon my research, I didn't really realize how big the mechanical keyboard game was with people making them and switches and stuff, and I just thought they sounded cool, so I just searched the first pre-built one I could find, and after a thorough amount of listening, I found that the Halo 75 keyboard with the Night Breeze switches were just what I wanted. The keyboard comes with some really cool RGB lighting. I also really enjoy the colorways, and it personally reminds me of Premiere. I really like the way it fits in on my desk. Fourth, I have the Sony WH-1000MX5 headphones. These things are a beast. I truly believe that video and audio must be on par for a film to work. So when editing my latest film, I was still using my old gaming headphones, which I got in like 7th grade, and I knew I wanted a nice upgrade. And I couldn't have picked anything better but these. If it wasn't for the next item, these would have been number 1 for the best purchase I bought so far. I know a lot of people were upset with the fact they didn't fold in, but personally I'm happy about that. Most of my headphones that fold in would actually snap after a while, and I didn't want to have to deal with that with these. They're really lightweight, super comfortable, and these have never let me down. So truly, if you're looking for new headphones, I recommend this. This is not a sponsored video at all, but these might be the best headphones I've ever used. And lastly, the item I think I'm most excited for is my brand new Sony a7 IV mirrorless camera. As I've said before, I've been using the G7 for about 3 to 4 years now, and it's still an amazing camera. For instance, this video is almost entirely shot on it. However, I've decided to aim its use towards my vlogging and commentary videos, while I focus the use of my A7 to all my filmmaking projects. Now, as much as I'd love to sit here and talk about all the specs of this camera, I'm more of an action speaks louder than words person, so why don't we let the camera do the talking for itself? Now that's it. You have no idea how long I've been trying to film this video. I originally started trying to film it like a week after I first got all of the items in. However, a lot of things came up. I went to LA to get the B-roll. My car actually broke down when I was up there. It was pretty hectic. I actually filmed the commentary part of this video before, but I realized I put my mic on mute the entire time. So hopefully this worked out. I hope you liked this video. Thank you so much for stopping by and joining me on my journey. If you'd like, please hit subscribe. I have so many future projects and videos I'd like to go forward with, and I hope to entertain you in the future. And with that, there's only one thing left to do.